Hi, Micheal Lonstar. He's next to me and we are on the country fair in Bergheim. Micheal, nice to meet you here.
Oh, nice to meet you guys here.
How has been the last year for you? Your highlights?
Highlights. Well, in spite of global crisis, economy-wise and artistic-wise, we can't complain. I wrote some new songs, hoping that I would record them pretty soon. We toured, me and my band, and with incredible Nashville singer-songwriter Mr. Ray Scott. We toured Germany, Czech Republic, Lithuania, Poland. We broke attendance record at a Hard Rock Cafe Warsaw in my native town. And I'm here, and I had the opportunity to meet some new wonderful people, musicians, friends, musical friends. So I enjoy every second of this sojourn here. And actually, I'd be a blasphemer if I complained about last year. It was pretty good. Okay. Regarding the situation.
Now you came to Germany because I think you're American, are you?
Germany, a funny thing, perhaps I'm the last Polish citizen that ever visited Berlin. Not because I dislike. I have always.
Where are you from?
I'm from Warsaw, Poland, originally. But
from Poland,
that's right. But my alternative homelands are Italy and United States. But Germany is the closest neighboring country, and Berlin has always fascinated me. So when I heard about Country Music Messe, I first came here as a tourist, just to absorb the atmosphere. And then I found some friendly people who suggested me to come down here with my band or solo. So I would come either with my band or solo. So this is my 10th time this is my, I think, more than 30 times that I'm performing here in Germany, and the audience is very perceptive. The country music is doing very well. Eventually, I signed a contract with Amazing Records, German-based label, I'm very satisfied with it.
Great.
And I have a lot of friends. I sing and play together with them and jam with them and have some musical projects. So this is. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention. I also put together the Pure Country Festival. We call it Pure Country, and we present real country music in Poland. This year
you did it.
Actually, I'm the musical director of that festival. My wife is executive producer, and there's a main producer who is not a businessman. He's a musician too, and he's my fan. So he understands music. He loves country music, and so this is real something. We've already had Billy Yates, Buddy Jewell, Ray Scott, Georgette Jones, George Hamilton the 4th and the 5th. This year we're putting together another edition of that festival.
Next year we know where we have to go.
This year, actually, it's going to take place in August, 9 through 11 of August, if I remember well. Anyway,
and count us in.
All right, you'd be most welcome. Yeah.
Yes.
It's not far from Germany because that little town is called Wolsztyn, which is derivative of.
Wolsztyn? Is it Olsztyn or Wolsztyn?
No, not all. It's W at the end. Wolsztyn.
Okay, Wolsztyn.
It's derivative from an old German name Wolstein.
Okay.
And it's located 100 kilometers across German border, which is 200 kilometers only from Berlin. And there's a very nice town with a great hotel and motel and camping base, and there's a wonderful forest and 2 lakes and a great sound equipment, and this is a very nice festival.
Oh, we love to go there. Yeah. My father is born near Olsztyn. Magrovo.
This is far
up.
northeast.
Yeah, he's born there, so.
Olsztyn is in the western part.
Is at the moment does a radio station play your music right now?
In Germany, yes. In Poland, we don't even have any specialized radio station that would play country music constantly. There are occasional country music programs, like once a week, 1 hour a week or something, that they don't have enough airplay power to supply power play of any songs. That's why I rely on German market mostly.
Great. What is the motto that keeps you going in country music?
I fell in love with country music when I was 7. I'm pretty old. I'm a veteran of country music. So when I was 7, it's easy to calculate. We had a communist regime, Soviet regime in Poland. So listening nobody knew what country music really was. But all of a sudden, I discovered country music through my daddy, who would listen to the Voice of America.
Okay.
And it was then and there that I heard country music, and I instantly fell in love with it, because all of a sudden I heard totally different planet of music, as if Holy Ghost descended and revealed to me some biblical truth. And in the meantime, many other loves would come and go, but this one has stuck, and I still
forever.
love it. And what drives me about what I love about country music is that it's beautiful, it's catchy, it's very human, and at the same time it's very down to earth. It tells about real life. Sometimes I joke, but this is not a joke, that I don't write my songs. It's a life that writes them, and I only report them.
I love to hear that.
And this is
great.
true. This is true.
Really
I never invented one single song out of fantasy. I look around, I listen around. Those songs are either my own personal experiences in my own life, or reality that I perceive around me.
That's great. I love what you said.
Thank you.
Comes from inside your heart, does it?
This is what country music is all about. It
Yes.
should come. If it doesn't come out of heart, this is not country music. This is just a commercial pseudo country pop.
Yeah. That's great. I love it. What do you think about today's music scene versus the past, and where do you see it in the future?
Contemporary country music, I'm talking about America, because America radiates country music, and then Europe and the rest of the world adopts what they invent. They dictate it. What I see during my last 8 visits to Nashville during CMA Fest or elsewhere, there's a division in 2 trends. There's a mainstream, so-called mainstream, which is commercial pop country music, which sells millions, and not that I try to criticize it, because I appreciate. It's a question of personal taste. My personal taste excludes that music, because to me it's false. It's money-oriented. It's business-oriented. Even the people who produce it, they don't call it music. They call it music industry. To them, it's industry, and the song is not a song. It's a product to sell. When I write a song, I don't write it with sales perspective. I write it because this is what my soul, I feel the need for it. And so there's another trend. Some people, well, I don't like the term old farts and jackasses, but they stand in defense of real music, which is not necessarily old style or archaic or anachronic music, God forbid. This can be very contemporary sounding music, but this is a music rooted in the tradition, which is the truth. As Willie Nelson said, country music is 3 chords and truth. Sometimes I use more than 3 chords, but I never stay away from truth. And if you listen to the likes of Billy Yates or Ray Scott, they sound as contemporary as any, but they are very traditional, not in the sense. Some people confuse tradition and conservatism. Conservatism is stopping the progress. Tradition does not stop the progress. Tradition just respects the past.
That's a great say. I love it. I really love. I enjoy to have an interview with you.
Thank you.
What was your big break that brought you into country music?
Well, the first ever was when I heard it as a 7-year-old boy in over the Voice of America radio program. But then I think the big break was when, in martial laws that we had in Poland, imposed by a Soviet regime, there came George Hamilton IV, and they hired me not as a backing singer, they hired me as a translator. But George instantly noticed that show business, that industry surrounding him was just, we have Americans, so we have to put the TV special for him. Well, let's hire that Micheal, what's his name, Micheal Lonstar? He speaks English, so let him invite as a translator. And George Hamilton IV was intelligent enough and dear enough to perceive that in the middle of all that hype, TV hype, there was one guy who loved country music, he knew country music, and we befriended, and ever since we stayed in contact. And George said to me, Micheal, whenever you're in Nashville, feel free to call me and I'll be your guide.
Right.
And eventually he did become not more than my guide. He has become, because he still is, not my guide around Nashville. He's my Nashville guardian angel.
And your friend,
and my friend. So that was the biggest. From him, it all started because he invited me for the first time and then the second time to appear at the Grand Ole Opry, and through him I had my first contacts, and then it was like domino blocks. It evolved until current situation that I have my CD recorded in Nashville with two hot producers, Billy Yates and Dean Miller, Roger Miller's son. But that was the biggest break, George Hamilton IV.
Great.
In 1982.
Before you became a star, because for me you are a star.
Thank you.
Because a lot of people talking about you, good things. Did your friends and family support you, or was it a never-ending struggle in the beginning?
My life was pretty typical for, not so much country, but for a music star. I used to have a wife, my first wife, who strongly objected that, and eventually we divorced. She preferred that snobbish, posh kind of life, no guitars around house, because guitars is something gypsy, something inferior, something you should be ashamed of. But for the last 11 years, I'm with a woman, she's my wife. I proposed to her at the Billy Bob's Texas Honky Tonk in Fort Worth, Texas, during Willie Nelson's concert. And she's not only is she my strongest support, but she's also my manager, pretty successful manager.
Great.
And she's my musical consultant, and she's my soul sister, my guardian angel, soulmate, and also sometimes even my bodyguard. Once you wouldn't believe that tiny figure. She threw a huge fat guy from the stage, the guy who invaded my stage and wanted to push me from the microphone and said something. And she physically threw him from the stage. So that's her. And then I have a daughter from my previous marriage. She's 30 right now. And she's not a professional singer, but she inherited a musical ear and a very weak but very beautiful voice and pitch perfect tune. So occasionally, recently, when I celebrated my 100th anniversary, 100 because the sum of my life, the years of my life and years spent on stage equaled around 100. She was a surprise act. She surprised me in the first place, and she played with musicians from my band and some guest musicians, and she sang 2 songs, and it was a jaw-dropping experience.
I love it.
So that too, and I have very strong support also from my sister, who is a psychologist, but whenever I need something outside music, but life is not only music.
Yeah,
it's a big percent of my life, so I can count on my sister too.
Any thoughts about retiring in the future, near future? I don't guess.
Well, your guess is right. I've never thought, I never will. They say never, but in this case, I'm sure I'm 100% positive. I'll never think of retirement, and I think I'll die playing guitar and singing. Even if nobody would ever want to hear me, to listen to me, but I will do it just for myself, even as an old, senile age, because this is my love, and once the love is true, that love never dies.
That's great. It's great saying. What do you do when you have time off? What do you do to relax, to do something special?
I like painting watercolors.
Great.
Actually, the logo, the festival logo, and all festival graphics of that pure country is my work.
Great.
Plus my wife, who does the computer, adds computer
I will look
components.
it up.
Yeah, she do that. And I'm a movie freak. So I love watching movies.
John Wayne.
Western movies in the first place, but generally, you see, my other job, and well-paid one, unfortunately, it lasts only 8 days a year, is one film festival in Poland called Camera Image, where it's dedicated to cinematographers. So once a year for the last 21 years already, I've had the chance to meet all them Oscar-winning cinematographers and actors and directors. So that's my passion, and even there, I'm co-hosting that festival and translating simultaneously dialogues or press conferences. But even there, I appear on stage when I present all the award recipients. I walk the stage dressed like this, which is cowboy hat, French Indian jacket, cowboy boots, belt buckle, and they accept me and they love me
as you
the
are.
way they even. Many people say that you are festival's good luck charm. You're a symbol of that festival because all other were either suit and tie or dress this or that, elegant, less elegant, casual, and you stand out of a crowd. And even the Oscar winners such as Vittorio Storaro, the one who got Oscars from Apocalypse Now and the Last Emperor, or Vilmos Zsigmond, the recipient for Close Encounters of the Third Kind, they see, without you that festival wouldn't be the same, even if I'm not a cinematographer.
That's great. I love that.
For example, when they presented Walk the Line, the Johnny Cash biography, I hit the stage, and instead of saying, ladies and gentlemen, I said, there goes your mind, I walk the line. And,
great,
and people bursted with applause and think, that festival accepts this kind of behavior. That's a real rock and roll festival too.
I love kind of I love the story. Do you have a special story about yourself?
Well, there's a lot of them, but I think I might quote one which is connected with Grand Ole Opry and Nashville, obviously. That was my first ever time when I was supposed to appear on stage at Grand Ole Opry as George Hamilton's guest. And I didn't feel any stage fright because everybody was so nice to me, and a band and everything. At the sound check and rehearsal, it was perfectly all right. Everybody was so supportive. But when I sang my part, only one song, and I ran off stage crying out loud out of emotion.
Did you?
It's not that I had tears in my eyes. I was crying out loud like a baby, and I was so ashamed of my reaction that I hid deep inside in the darkest corner of backstage. And all of a sudden, I feel somebody touching my arm in the darkness, and I hear the voice known elsewhere, very well-known voice saying in a low baritone, "Son, don't you be ashamed of your tears, because everyone reacts here this way first time around, me included." So I look around to see who's that me was, and that was none other than Hank Snow.
Hank Snow.
Hank Snow.
Great.
He was still alive. The year was 1989, so he was elderly gentleman, but he was still singing
Great.
there.
That was a real great.
And
singer.
imagine me, perfectly nobody, just a kid from behind the Iron Curtain, and he was an iconic, super monumental star, and yet he obviously must have noticed my reaction, and he bothered to follow me backstage and say those encouraging words. But not only that, he also admitted, me included, which means that maybe 40 years earlier, he, as a young boy, reacted that way with tears and pride. So I said, oh my God, if that guy reacted that way many years earlier, so there's nothing wrong with me. And it was so encouraging, and I will never forget that. And that was, still is, one of the mottos of my life, that no matter what, there are people who were ahead of me, people I look up to, because Hank Snow, one of my, as a little boy, I always looked like Ernest Tubb, and Hank Snow were my idols. And all of a sudden, that idols that I've idolized for so many years, for decades, says those words to me, that he also cried stepping off stage first time around. So that is one of the most incredible stories that happened to me.
That's very nice. I love to hear that. Another thing, the last thing, what would you say to all the young talents to come in the future? What is your say? Don't do it. What would you say?
What would I say to young aspiring country artists? I would say, listen as much as possible to the traditional music. Don't pay attention to the sound, which is inferior to contemporary, which is computerized and auto-tuned and everything. Don't mind that. Listen to the heart and soul of that music. Once you've learned that, you'll know what your roots are, or what your roots should be. You'll realize what ground you stand on, and on that build your own career. In other words, stay true to yourself. Don't copy, don't imitate contemporary pseudo-country or pop country stars, no matter how good they are. Listen to them, of course, because you have to learn contemporary sound, but don't try to copy them. Be yourself, based on what you learn, but create your own your own work based upon your own sensitivity, on your own heart, because heart is the essence of country music, not industry, not commerce, not money, not glamour of big stars and million selling sales.
That's really great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
To you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.